Tsukuba or not Tsukuba? That is the question. Alright, it's been a while since I've done one of these. Most of the times with the tracks we've been going to, I've not been able to really get much quicker at all. This one, I don't think I've done a guide for before. If I have, it's been a long time, and the car has probably changed since then. I was able to get a 55.031. I think the fast guys are going to be doing the mid to low 54s, but pretty happy with this time. It's dark. So if you're watching this in a later season where it's not dark, you're gonna have a much easier time, I think. But enough of my rambling. I'm gonna show you the fast lap that I did, and then I'll talk through what I'm thinking when I'm going through it, and then we'll come back for some final thoughts.
You've just done a 55.58. Sector 3 is a tenth off your best. You've just done a 55.03. Good lap. That's your quickest so far.
Alright, Porsche Cup at Tsukuba. We've moved our brake bias back to minus 5.5. It's fixed setup. Let's go through how we did it. We got ourselves a 55.031. So we got a good exit coming out of the final corner. Use the track. My first braking point is this access road here. And once we hit that, we're going to start turning in right about here. Medium brakes about halfway. And we're downshifting. And we're going to start easing up on the brakes as we approach the corner here. And just as we turn the wheel, we've got to lift on the brake pedal because we have to imagine that little string that's tied between them. So as we turn the wheel in, we've got to lift up on the brakes. That's important on this track early. And we've lifted up on the brakes there. Turning the car in. Once we get it turned, we can start putting some throttle in. We really need to wait until the car finishes turning before we can straighten out the wheel. And then we can put the rest of the throttle down once we're kind of pointed in the right direction. It's pretty easy to spin out there. I did it more than I care to remember. Anyway, we're flat out through here. And then as we approach this next corner, my braking point's going to be kind of where this curbing comes out. A little bit before. So we're approaching. I actually get on the brakes a little bit early there, it seems. But it's real easy to kind of miss your braking point and go real deep into this this hairpin here. So we're just going to hit the brakes. Not super heavy. Getting up about 50% there. Kind of easing onto them, not slamming on it. This car really isn't like that. We need to use a lot of trail braking with this car, but we're easing off the brakes as we turn in. We've got to use a lot of wheel here. And just hold that little bit of brake pressure until we get the car turned the rest of the way around, and then we can start putting a little bit of throttle in. And we have to wait for the wheel to open up. We're kind of pointed straight. There we go. We can get the rest of the throttle in. And turn the car. Get it. We're gonna get over here, and that's gonna be our next braking point. And I kind of goof up on this lap a little bit. I should have broke a tiny bit earlier than I do here. I don't have a real fixed braking point, just kind of when we get over here. Kind of start hitting the brakes and get turned in. We want to get down to second. And it's not, it's even lighter on the brakes here, so like 25%-ish. But honestly, we want to roll up onto this curb and this dirt with our right wheels just a little bit, and I didn't do that here. I get onto the curb a little bit, but we could have taken more of that and gotten on the throttle even a little bit sooner. Might get you a tenth or so here. But we're gonna get on the throttle, straighten out the wheel, then we can get the rest of the way on the throttle. We want to get over to the right a bit more so we can open up for the next corner here. And we can take this flat out. We have to take the line correctly to take it flat out. If you're having a little bit of trouble, just a little lift should do it, especially on like the first few laps when the tires are cold, first couple laps. But we're getting up into fourth. We have to come out here because we're going so quick. If we tried to keep it tighter, we probably would have spun the car. And then we're just going to go full throttle up to here. My braking point's kind of in between where this dirt patch ends and this turning point ends. So like right about here-ish is what I'm thinking. And I actually, when I'm saying I'm thinking, that's kind of where I'm going to peak at. I roll onto the brakes a little sooner. I get real quick braking, kind of, it has bad things happen in this car. But we're turning in. It's so dark. I'm kind of trying to keep my eyes on the inside curb here just to kind of keep track of where I am. Is kind of my strategy. I'm looking for the words there. But we're easing off the brakes as we turn the wheel. Again, we've got to use a lot of wheel here. Ease off the brakes, and then we can put a little bit of coast, a little bit of throttle. I got on the throttle a little soon there. And we just got so much wheel in, we've got to be easy on the throttle. And then as we open up, we're just going to point the car straight and get on it. So we've straightened out the car. We're kind of pointing this direction where we get our full throttle going, and we can still make the minor corrections for the rest of the curve here. And then it's just full throttle through here until we get to these hay bales. I'm not quite sure what they are. They're not hay bales. But that's going to be our next braking point. So we're going to start hitting the brakes there. Turn in. And we're going to downshift to third here. We're easing off the brakes. And just kind of hanging out in the middle here. We need to still be a little wide for the end part of this turn. So we're just holding that little bit of brake pressure and get the car turned in, and we can start putting the throttle down. A little bit more turn to get us close to that curb. Got to be careful here. It's really easy to get an off track on this corner, I found, and I messed up a little bit, so I'm lifting on this lap. Wouldn't have turned in quite so much. We could have kept it that way, but we had to make a minor correction, straighten out the car, and we can just go full throttle. We can use all this green on this side of the curb here. It's full throttle. And get the car over. And we got ourselves a 55031. So yeah, like I said, been a while since I've done one of these. I don't plan on doing them unless I've got something new to add to them. Might be a couple where I need to redo them for other reasons, like I think Interlagos I need to redo because the track limits have changed since I made that guide, and I keep forgetting. Yeah, I just, when there's something new and I get better enough, that's when we'll remake one of these. But if you want to, because like a lot of the times the stuff doesn't change that much, if you want to look up an old guide, I've still got them all up. Just search my name and Porsche Cup and the track, and you should be able to find it. And I'm saying "and" a lot. So and if you like the video, thumbs up. If you didn't, I get that too. If you think I earned it, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you next time. Bye.